You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Hey, Vinos, real quick, if you are listening right now, which obviously you are or you wouldn't be hearing this, can you hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever platform you're on? Please, that one simple thing helps more than you even realize. It allows me to keep growing on this podcast, which is very important to me. Also, bringing on even better guests and making these episodes the best they can possibly be, obviously for you. That's the only favor I'm going to ever ask, okay? It truly means the world to me. Thank you. Now let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe. We are here with a solo Dolo episode, and I don't even know how to explain how I'm feeling today. I think it's like the come down after like a really big weekend with Canadian girlfriends that came into town, and I am like OCD, anal, crazy lady about being the best host in the world when friends come into town. I like made them little baskets. Well, and by me, I mean my assistant Kelly made them little baskets, and we put like charcoal in them and Advil and some electrolytes and slippers and a candle and little Nashville like trinkets. And it was just, I love it so much, but sometimes I'm like, calm down, Kaitlyn. But anyways, I've just had quite the few weeks. It was Miami before, and I just thought, why not give a little life update? Just little old me, no one else, me, the chair, the dogs, and the AC that just kicked in. That sounds really loud. Give me one sec while we turn that off. Okay, so we'll start with the Miami trip. I thought it was going to be a little more pedal to the metal, full throttle, balls to the wall party weekend. But then I realized, you know what? We're all kind of getting older, and we did Miami right. So the first night that we got there, we went to this place. If you have ever been to Miami, I hope you've been here. And if you have any trips or plans of going to Miami, Mila is the spot to go to. Okay, it has the most fabulous vibe. Everybody's so good looking in Miami. It's kind of annoying, very humbling. And then it has the best sushi, best cocktails. And we just sat and literally just chatted for hours about, you know, the girl stuff. I can't say too much on here because I don't want to expose anybody, but we just had such a fun girls' night. And then we're like, you know what, let's go downstairs for a cocktail. The like manager of the restaurant came over and was like, I'll take you ladies down for a drink, thinking he was going to like pay for our drinks. Not that we need that. We don't give a shit. We were always like, we don't need anybody to pay for our drinks. But he goes down, orders us like the most expensive champagne or drink or something. I can't remember. But and then was like, here's the bill. And we're like, we didn't even want that. So that was fun. Also humbling because we kind of thought we were the shit for a second. But we ended up having the cocktail. It was 11 p.m. on a Friday, and we decided, let's go to bed and get up early and do a workout. So we did that. We went home. We had an early night and early morning. We got smoothies. We went to the gym. We went and laid by the pool all day. We just hung out. We had a little nap by the pool. And then we decided to get a little rowdy on the next night. So we went to dinner to this place, again, highly recommend, called Sparrow. It is a steak and seafood restaurant. No, I lied. No, is it? Yeah. No, it's an Italian steakhouse. So it was steak and like the most insanely delicious, if you're from Canada, pasta, if you're from the States, pasta. And we ate the shit out of like everything on that menu. And there was like a live little tiny jazz band that would come out every hour and sing Lauryn Hill. And he like worked the crowd. It was just so much fun. And then Kristen has a bunch of friends in Miami who I'm pretty sure this one guy's like the mayor of Miami. So we decided to go out with him. Now, we were all looking at each other being like, are we really going to a club? Okay, let's get in the zone. And I'm picturing like, what is the club in Miami? Like Live, I don't know, like bottle service or like the strippers, because there's a huge strip club there. And I'm like bracing myself for a crazy night. And we pulled up, I'm gonna see, I asked Kristen, oh, she hasn't responded yet. I asked Kristen what the name of this club was because I'll find out for you guys. We pulled up and it was like the most eclectic, that's not a word, eclectic nightclub. It had like art hanging on the wall, like really, really eclectic art. It was so much character. There's turf on the ground because it was outdoor chandeliers hanging from the trees, an insane DJ, lighting, and then the bathrooms were just like so unique and quirky and different. And we just danced until like 2 a.m. It was so much fun. We rolled up and I was like, oh, I can with this. So we had the best time. Next day again, just laid by the pool, and then a flood happened. It was a Sunday. We were having ourselves a little Sunday. We went for sushi, and we were driving through water that was, I don't know if you can see the floor to where my hands are, but the water was up to the middle of the wheel in a big black SUV. And we were basically driving through a river to get to Sushi. It should have been a 15-minute drive and it ended up being an hour drive. Got there, had so much fun. A couple of our guy friends came and met up with us. And then we just went back to our one hotel, had a cocktail there and went to bed because we had to fly out early the next morning. A trip with your girlfriends, if you are like feeling down, if you are feeling like you need something to just lift your spirits and fill your cup, pick 2 of your favorite girlfriends and just go on a little weekend getaway and just giggle and have so much fun and go with the flow. Because although my next day travel was a day from hell, I don't like to complain too much about traveling because I feel very privileged for everything I get to do. And I see people on Instagram being like, my flight's delayed and this happened. I'm like, you can't control that and it's nobody's fault. And you just had the weekend in Italy, like off. But our travel day was crazy, but we had the best time and my cup was full, even though our plane was 4 hours delayed. Somebody got sick in the bathroom. I had major anxiety. It took like 2 hours for us to get our bags. I was still just so grateful for the whole weekend. It was amazing. Good food, good friends. So then I had a little week to recover and ended up having one of my best friends come into town from Vancouver. Now, this person, her name is Shayna. When I moved to Vancouver, I remember I had to get a job at a restaurant because I was dancing so much. So I went to this restaurant that is iconic in Canada called Earl's. And I went in, I got hired, and I went to my first training group session. I sat down, there's probably like 10 people in our training session. And, we're learning about the menu, all of the ingredients and wine pairing and all this stuff. And I sat next to this girl and I literally looked at her and I went home that day and I said to my friend, that girl's going to be my best friend for a very long time. Like, I think she's going to be in my life for a long time. I thought she was feeling the same way. Apparently she went home to her sister and she was like, I met this crazy girl. Her name's Kaitlyn. She was wild. She was wearing like lime green earrings and a lime green shirt and lime green bangles up her arms with lime green. Like I did not have style when I was 19. Like, I came straight out of Leduc, Alberta. I think I had like the chunky brown and blonde fake hair extensions, big ear. I was a real treat. Anyways, that person is still one of my best friends in the whole world. We ended up living together. I've never met anyone so passionate about country music. Like, Garth Brooks will come on and tears will be in her eyes. She grew up loving it and it was so fun to have her in Nashville because she had never been. So Nashville Rex, my gosh, we went to a Kane Brown concert. We were in the pit, like 2 people were just like in front of us and we were just like, we had the best time. We went home, we opened a bottle of Sancerre, we played games, we had giggles, we worked out the next morning. It was kind of the same Miami vibe. And then obviously I had to take her on a pedal tavern. Now, people who live in Nashville cringe at these pedal taverns because they're always in the way. There's always drunk bachelorette parties on them. They like think they're so cool out there listening to like apple bottom jeans and Let's Go Girls. And every time I'm like, no, just trust the process. And we had the best time on this pedal tavern. Our driver, Ryan, was what dreams are made of. If you want entertainment on a pedal tavern, please request Ryan. I don't even know how to describe him. Like, I felt like he snorted a couple lines of Adderall and took a shot of tequila, and he didn't. That's just who he is as a human being. He was born to drive this pedal tavern. We had the best time. We went everywhere on Broadway. We went to every honky tonk. I ended up singing Earl Had to Die on stage. We went to 12 South for shopping. We went to the Gulch. Go to the Rustler. We made custom made cowboy hats. You can brand them. You can put feathers in them. You can pick your own material for them and ask for Stormy. She's the manager. So much fun. They give you a little beer in there. We ordered fried chicken sandwiches. We just had such a Nashville weekend and it was so much fun. Again, I'm so tired, and somebody that I don't want to talk about text me. It's not who you're thinking. It's somebody else. And it just gave me all this stress. And so I'm like, I just got to go on the podcast and talk about my girls and my fun weekend because I literally went to sleep last night with such a bad hangover and such a full heart. And that to me is so worth it. I really don't party like I used to, but when I do, I'll go for it. And it is just so much fun. Just live music, unforgettable moments. And I don't know, I just like sharing my little weekends with you guys, even though I probably did all over social media anyways. Hey everybody, it's Kaitlyn Bristowe, and I cannot wrap my head around that it's been 10 years since my season of The Bachelorette. It kind of feels like it was just yesterday that I was handing out roses and making questionable choices on national TV, but it also feels like a lifetime ago. So, in honor of the Big 10, I'm doing something I've never done before, a full rewatch of my season. I am watching it back, start to finish, and you're coming with me. So every Tuesday, exclusively on Off the Vine, I'm going to be recapping an episode, and every Thursday, I'm bringing on a special guest. I can or cannot confirm it might be a few familiar faces. So go ahead, take out your phone, follow Off the Vine, make sure you're subscribed, and get ready to watch on YouTube or listen wherever you get your podcasts. Now, as Chris Harrison would say, this will be the most dramatic rewatch ever. Only on Off the Vine. You all know I'm all about that beauty that's effortless and fun, which is why I'm obsessed with the new Lash Blast Supercloud Mascara from Covergirl. This mascara super boosts your lashes with weightless length, light as air lift. Seriously, it feels like nothing is on there, but the results are everything. The air whipped formula packed with vegan collagen, vitamin B5, and amino acids keep my lashes looking long, lifted, and so soft. Plus, it's clump-free, smudge-free, flake-free, and lasts up to 24 hours. Because if my mascara can outlast my day and a glass of wine or two, like we've got a winner. I love using it to get that fresh kind of clean girl makeup look when I want my lashes to stand out but still feel super natural, or just for a night out, just swipe, lift, boom, bop, bing, bop, bam, super boosted. And best of all, it's vegan, cruelty-free, easy to remove, so try it for yourself and get ready for your lash glow up. Only from Easy Breezy, beautiful Covergirl. I talked about how much I love hosting and how I go over the top. Maybe I could give you like a little how to host friends when they come into town moment. So prepping for a house guest. Imagine when you go to a friend's house or family's house, like sometimes I get triggered going home because I know my mom's watching this, so mom, don't get offended by this, but I know like you do not. If you put a cup down without a coaster, like you're in jail. It's jail. And you got to really like prep for it. So you have to, you don't want to be like stressed out about what they're going to be like, but also know whose house you're going into. Does that make sense? Anyways, if that did or didn't, doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about how I like to host. I just like went straight to like childhood energy. I'm like my mom. Sorry, mom. My mom's house is so clean. But she always puts a nest out. We call it a nest. So my grandparents, when I was little, every time we go to my grandparents' house, they'd make us a nest. That's what they called it. And it would be all our favorite like goodies and things for the weekend. And it would always be laid out. We'd run to our bedrooms to see the nest. So my mom still does that for me as an adult. She does it for my niece and nephew. And now I like to do that for when people come to visit me. So when my niece came to visit, I like had her room filled with balloons, and I printed out pictures of us, and I got her a bunch of things like American treats that you can't get in Canada. So I think like just doing these little things for guests when they come to visit, I feel like goes such a long way. Just make a cute gift basket, make sure there's like fresh flowers in the room, a water by their bed, little slippers. I don't know. Some people like to have like a full itinerary. That stresses me out personally. I'm more of a go with the flow, but always having a backup plan. So I made sure we had reservations. I made sure we had like things set up, but I don't like overwhelming people with like, here's the itinerary, because I don't want them to feel like, oh God, okay, I have to be ready for this. Obviously read your audience. My girlfriend Shayna is very type A. She probably would have loved an itinerary, but just she knew that I had it figured out. So it was all good. And then always have a list of places for your go-to. Like what's your favorite? Ask them what their favorite food is. Then go to like the go-to spot in Nashville for sushi, which God, there's not many. There's like maybe 2. Anyways, I just think it's like, make it really fun, make it really sweet, make it really personal for when they come to your house. And I'll tell you also who I learned that from: my grandma, my mom, and Jillian Harris. Because Jillian Harris, I'll never forget, she was like, come stay with me. Like after I came off the show, we went to I think it was a Kenny Chesney concert, and we went back to her house, and she had a whole room set up for me, and like art, like she gave me a piece of art that was really nice in the gift basket. She had everything set up for if I was hungover, and like everything that you could think of that was so thoughtful. And in the morning, just like hand delivered me a Caesar, which in America you guys call a Bloody Mary. But I was just like, you know what? That really makes a difference when a host goes out of their way, especially for a lifelong friendship. you know, for Shayna, I've been best friends with her for 20 years. So it's easy to know what she would like, what would make her happy. But the dynamic has changed so much. Like Shayna looked at me at one point, she goes, "You're an adult." Because Shayna knew me as, and she calls me Bean. She knows me as this like reckless, carefree, go out all the time, party girl. She'd always just be like, "Oh, Bean." Like she's so ahead of her time. She was like, when I met her, she was 17 going on like 40 and still looks like she's 17, by the way. But she really like raised me, I feel like. She was always being like, "You can't do that, Bean." Or like, "This is how you do it." She'd leave me notes around the house being like, "I think it's your time to clean," because I was so messy. I was just such a selfish degenerate who like didn't know how I was going to get by in life, but didn't care. Like if I had $5 in my bank account, I'd be like, sick. Like I can buy coffee. I didn't care. I always knew I would figure something out. And it was her husband that said to me, "Bean, you can't just like go on a reality show and then like build a career off of it. You have to like work and blah, blah." And then now we're laughing because we FaceTimed him and I was like, "Look what I did in my house." I'm like that I'm so proud of. And I've also worked so hard for, but it's actually just so funny how the dynamic, like Shayna is still the exact person. And I even said it at her wedding. I'm like, "You're the most consistent person in my life." And I am like the like rogue who knows what's going to come out of my mouth, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, where I'm going to be in the world. And it's just so funny because now she's like, you're really grown up. Like you literally have a house and dogs and responsibility and a job. And it's just, I think she was really proud of me, which was cool. Also, Broadway, I was so excited to show it to her, but Broadway gives me anxiety. Like sometimes it's my personal hell, but a Sunday there is quite fun. I cannot believe this one bar called Chiefs. It's the bar that Morgan Wallen threw the chair off of. And I was like, if Kaitlyn Bristowe got so drunk on Broadway and I threw a chair off of a balcony, not only would I be banned from like Broadway, I'd be canceled. I probably wouldn't have this podcast anymore. I would be like in tears getting bullied online, being called names and like telling me how I'm like could have killed somebody. Morgan Wallen has a fucking plaque at that bar where he threw the chair off of. That's like making a joke, like unless you're Morgan Wallen, don't think about throwing a chair. And then they have cocktails that has a chair on the cocktail. They like celebrate it. I'm like, only a Morgan Wallen. It's like he is uncancelable. It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy to me. But I will say the Chiefs bar was fun. That to be said, the Chiefs bar was really fun. We went to Jason Aldean's. We went to Chiefs. We went to Miranda Lambert's. We went to, oh my God, we went to Morgan Wallen. Me also celebrating him. I'm like, let's go to Morgan Wallen's. We went to Honky Tonk Central, which when I came off the show, Sean and I used to go to Honky Tonk Central every weekend. Like without fail, Honky Tonk Central, they would have a little roped off area for us because we were fresh off the show. So it was a little bit on the wild side, but we would just go for it every weekend there. And it was so funny to just be back. And, you know, it was so fun. You tip the people on stage and they'll play whatever you want to play. And we just were like, Garth Brooks. And everybody else in the bar was like, "Yeah, here's something else." I'm like, "Well, did you pay them? You give them a tip." But we just had so much fun. Anyways, I'm a rambler. It's so good that I could do this on a podcast because what if I had nothing to say? I could talk to a wall forever. My Canadian friends just fell in love with Nashville. It's so different from, it's like kind of cool because where I grew up in Canada, very small town, country, everybody lived on farms. Everyone just like, you know, had bush parties and drank and listened to country music. And then Nashville feels like such an elevated version of it where it's just like everywhere you turn, it's just like the best talent in the world. I asked Shayna because she's Canadian. She'd never been to Nashville. And she was like, "This is the only place I've ever been to," and she travels a lot, "that I could actually see myself living in." And she absolutely loved it. We had so much fun. I'm just like so deeply full of gratitude for the kind of people I have in my life. I have just the best kind of friends, the best family. And when they leave my house, I'm just like, I'm not ready for them to leave. You know, and sometimes you're like, I'm ready. I'm like, no, don't leave me. And I like being alone. So that says a lot. Also to just have people in my new home. It really is. People who've known me since, you know, started from the bottom. Now we're here. It's really fun to have my best friends see what I do, how I do it, and just where I'm at in life, I guess. I'm going to say something that's not going to shock you. Pinot and ramen run my show. Okay, they run my life. Luckily, Chewy makes it very easy to spoil them, whether I need their favorite food, those treats they're obsessed with, or yet another fluffy bed because they insist on having one in every room. Chewy literally has it all, over 100,000 products, and it shows up at my door in like 1 or 2 days. Honestly, faster than my own grocery delivery. But here's what I really love. Chewy doesn't just do the fun stuff. They also take care of the important things like pet prescriptions, insurance, even vet visits over video. I've done it. I love knowing I have that support when I need it, and I swear by their auto ship feature because I set it up for all the essentials. So I never run out of anything. Pinot and ramen stay happy. I avoid the guilt trip eyes, and I can just adjust or cancel at any time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also, shout out to their customer service 24/7. Gosh, it's super helpful. And if something doesn't work out, they make returns simple. So no drama, just love for your pets. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. And right now you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com/vine. You can literally hear Pinot chewing on a bone I got from there right now. That's chewy.com/vine to save $20 on your first order with free shipping. Chewy.com/vine. Minimum purchase required, new customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See site for complete details. Okay, you guys are really getting to know my bestie cat. She works at a skincare clinic and she is on her feet all day, constantly moving, somehow still looks so cute doing it. And the secret, she wears Figs scrubs. Her and the girls swear by Figs scrubs. I remember the first time she showed up in a new set, tailored, sleek, somehow still functional. I was like, wait, these are scrubs? Did you guys see the little skit I did on my own Instagram for the rebrand of Off the Vine? I was wearing those pink Figs scrubs. Okay, if you're in healthcare, you probably already know about Figs. And if you don't, let me just say they're made for the real MVPs. Figs are lightweight, breathable, stretchy, and antimicrobial, designed to keep up with long shifts, back-to-back patients, and everything in between. And the fit, just so good. These aren't those stiff, boxy scrubs from the past. They come in flattering styles and colors with smart pockets, zippers, and details that actually make sense for your day. They even launched a new fabric called Form X. It's ultra sleek, ultra stretchy, and stays cool to the touch. And basically it's comfort and mobility on a whole new level. So whether you're in the ER, at the clinic, grabbing a coffee post shift, do it in Figs. They say once you wear Figs, there's no going back. So go to wearfigs.com and use the code FIGSRX to get 15% off your first order. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX for 15% off your first order. Somebody else asked me about cheek filler and just filler in general. And I know these days it's like Botox and filler is such a controversial subject, and to each their own. I friggin' love it. I love a lip filler and I love Botox. I'm over the cheek filler. I don't like the puffy look, but I think some people can benefit from it. I just, when people ask me that, I'm like, this is your choice. I personally like it. Again, same thing with anything I do with my body is for me, not for anyone else. And you should feel the exact same way. You should do things for your body, not for anyone else, and always talk to a doctor. And that ain't me. Lord knows I'm not a doctor. Okay, somebody asked if I would go on Traders. I have said this before that yes, I'd be very nervous to go on Traders because to go away for 5 weeks, leaving my babies to possibly come home night one, that'd be embarrassing. Happens. But I'm so intrigued by it because I love watching the show. I think it's so well done. I'm obsessed with the host. I don't know who I'd want to compete against. Honestly, Spencer Pratt probably, because he would be so entertaining in the house and I'm friends with him and I think we could link up and do some funny things. I think it would be wildly entertaining to have like me and like Nick Viall cast, and then people would be like, oh, they could never work together, but secretly we're working together. I think that would be fun. Who else would be fun? Krista Cavallari. I'm like thinking of all my friends that could also go on. But the answer is yes, I would do Traders. I would just be nervous about it because I'm always nervous about any kind of edited show. I'm always nervous for getting sent home night one and nervous to leave my dogs. But if there's any show I was going to ever do, if I'm not hosting, because I pick me for hosting any show, but if I'm going to be a contestant, I think that would be the show that I would want to do. Or Masked Singer. I think that would be fun. Except I think if I went on Masked Singer, all the guests or the judges would be like, who the f*** is Kaitlyn Bristowe? Like, how do they know? You know, like if there's celebrities that go on Masked Singer where I'm like they obviously have earpieces in and are being asked certain questions and fed something because there's no way they know who all of these people are. You know what I mean? Anyways, somebody also asked if I ever did a DNA test for my dogs. I did. They're like 100% golden retriever. Actually, I think it literally is 100% golden retriever. Pino's a golden retriever to a T. He acts just like, some of them all have like the same mannerisms and demeanor. Pino is that. Ramen's like a little character of his own. I don't even know how to describe this one. He's spicy. Ramen's just spicy. Somebody asked about a tattoo update. So I'm not going to get naked and show you my body of tattoos, but I will. I'll tell you, I'll go through each tattoo, the meaning of them or no meaning at all. And I'll do it as quickly as I can because there's 21, I believe, tattoos of mine. So here we go. Tattoo tour of KB's body. Now we'll start at the bottom and we'll go to the top. I unfortunately, God, I give out so much free foot content. This one right here, ex-boyfriend's initials. Okay, his name was Justin. I won't say his last name, but started with a K. I really liked him. I'm still friends with him actually to this day. Still so close with his family. But I got that tattooed and I was like, well, if we break up, my best friend's name is Jess Knutson. Then she got married. Now she's Jess Hagel. I don't know if she still goes by Knutson. But now it's just like, then I met Jason. And I was like, oh, it's Jason and Kaitlyn. And now I'm just like, it's just a big JK. JK. Okay, so that's one. Let's move up. I don't have any leg tats, but that would be badass if I did. Okay, we're at the hips. What do I have? Okay, so I have this one really big one right by my crotch that is like a caution sign that says slippery when wet. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I literally just said that to see Kelly's reaction. Imagine I had that. No, I do not have that. JK. Okay, moving on up. This stupid diamond that I got tattooed on my ribs when I was wasted in Mexico because it was when I was hosting The Bachelorette. And I don't know whose brilliant idea this was, but we were in Mexico. I felt so sad for this donkey because they just had a donkey that people were taking pictures with. And I'm like, this poor thing just probably wants to be out in the wild and we're all taking photos with it. Anyways, it was so cute. There was a tattoo artist, a donkey, a tequila bar, a dance floor, a musician. It was a rap party for The Bachelorette. And so it was with all the producers, the camera crew, art department, everybody. It was so much fun, but I couldn't believe they had a tattoo artist because if there's a tattoo artist, I'm going to go. I'm getting a tattoo. But they only had a list of certain things you could choose from. Get a load of the list. So just context, Bachelorette rap party with everybody. There's a tattoo artist there. We're all drinking tequila in Mexico and they have a sheet of paper of tattoos you can choose from. There is either a limousine, a saying that I'm here for the right reasons, a rose, which I already have a rose tattooed on me, a diamond ring. Let's just say it was just those. Those are the ones I can remember. And out of all those, I was like, I'll get a diamond because the other ones sounded so stupid. I actually thought about getting, this is the one I regret not getting. It was a taco filled with hearts. I should have done that. But I got a diamond because I was like, actually, no, I didn't have a reason at the time. I went, yeah, give me a diamond and put it right here. I don't know. And so he tattooed this diamond on me. And in the morning, I was like, what the fuck? A diamond. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend is the song that when I was 18, I was 18 years old. I got a dance scholarship from that dance that I did to Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend that led me to Vancouver. Now, if I did not get that scholarship, I would not have moved to Vancouver to dance. If I did not give up dancing because one, I wasn't good enough, and two, I met a boy, I would have never gone through the worst heartbreak of my life. That heartbreak, that was the worst thing ever happened to me, is the reason I got onto The Bachelor. The Bachelor is what led me to getting on Dancing with the Stars. What I won, the last song I danced to was Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend and won the mirror ball. I just got full body chills. It was the most full circle moment of my life. And I went, hell yeah, I got a diamond. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. And it like kind of became a whole thing. Now, do I like the tattoo? No. Do I like the placement? No. Do I like the meaning? Yes, I do. Okay. Other side, I have all of my family's birth dates. It's like a very poorly done tattoo because I was, I don't know, again, 20 and just not going to, I was like, here, I'll go to this guy. And it's all my family's birth dates in numbers, like down in rows. So it's just like rows of numbers. So that was for my family. Cute. Hurt like a bitch. It wasn't like a fine needle tattoo back then either. He was like literally like scraping my skin with a massive needle on the ribs. Ribs is the worst part. Okay, there's that. Then we'll go to my hands. I have Godspeed on my hand because why not? I always say that to people when they're like about to go do something like really challenging or hard, or even if they're just going to do a workout. Godspeed. It's my hand shaking hand too. So like Godspeed. I don't know. I thought it was cute. I have a spade on my finger because spade and sparrows, which obviously I have sparrows tattooed on the back of my arms. I've got an L right here at a shooting star. This was my first tattoo. My best friend in the whole world, who everyone knows by now because I did a dance to her, dedicated to her on Dancing with the Stars. So it's an L for when she passed away. It was my first tattoo. I got it done with her sister and Bree, our other best friend. Okay. And then moving on up, this is a unilome, which is kind of like the spiritual path of life. And it's not supposed to be straight. It's like, it starts here and it goes like, and life gets all crazy until you die. Sorry, that was dark, but it's not supposed to be a straight line. I liked the meaning of that. This one is for y'all. It says Vinos. Then I got a fairy on this one, right? Mommy, did I get a little fairy? Ramen to give me kisses because my godson calls me fairy. Then I got a rose, obvious reasons, bachelorette. Then I got high vibrations tattooed right here because I like to remind myself to just, whenever I want to go low, I just got to stay high on that vibe. And then I have a crying butterfly because butterflies like symbolize growth and beauty, but they're also a crying one means it's sensitive too. So it's strong, it's beautiful, and it cries too. I don't know what I was thinking with that. Then obviously the sparrows on my arms, and then let's move on to my back. So I got muse, the word muse tattooed on my back because I wanted to be my own muse. And then I got down my spine, it says no rain, no flowers, which I love because self-explanatory. If like it doesn't rain, there's not going to be flowers. And wait, somebody said something the other day and I was like, that's cool. Storms always end. People always get through storms. So no rain, no flowers. I also have an angel tattooed on my back for guidance, my spirit guide. I have an evil eye on the back of my neck because the people talk behind your back and I'm saying block that shit. I also have a moon tattooed on my back because I actually believe the moon only receives and it just listens, and I believe that the moon is part of the universe, part of God, and part of what I pray to. I'm obsessed with the moon. And then I have my teardrop tattoos, so I could do this, and then it looks like I'm crying, which I never do. Like, imagine I use those all the time. No, it's not funny anymore, Kaitlyn. I was 19 and it was a dare. And then the worst one. Even though when I went to the Kane Brown concert, I realized that him and I have matching tattoos because he has music notes behind his ears and so do I. But mine are like all blended and it just looks like shit. And there's some stars back there too. But I'm like, oh, music. I love singing. I love dancing. Then there's stars, dancing with the stars. Sure. We all just make up an excuse for any tattoo that I have. But I think that's it. Was that 21? This is the other thing. I'm like, do I count these as one? Is this one? Is this two? I don't know. All right, spring's in the air. Sure is. And you know what's not in the air? Litter box stink. At least not at Kelly's house. So Kelly is my assistant that has 2 cats and she raves about Pretty Litter. She said it completely takes care of the smell, but what really sold her is how it helps her keep tabs on her cat's health. So Pretty Litter actually changes color when something's off, like early signs of a UTI or kidney issues, so she can catch it before it becomes a bigger problem. And if you're a cat person, you know how important that is. I wish they had that for dogs. She uses their new clumping unscented formula and it's super lightweight and low dust. One bag lasts up to 1 month, and with the subscription, it just shows up at the door, no dragging heavy tubs from the store or running out last minute. Pretty Litter keeps her home smelling fresh and clean and gives her peace of mind knowing that her cats are okay. So she says try it and you'll love it. Go to prettylitter.com/vine to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/vine to save 20% on your first order and get a cute little free cat toy. prettylitter.com/vine. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. I don't know what's in the air right now, but I feel like everyone's got the travel bug. I always have it, but with a few trips on the horizon, I am fully in prep mode, and that means treating myself to some gorgeous upgrades from Quince without the insane price tags. First up, grab their carry-on suitcase. I think I already told you guys about this. It's so sleek, lightweight, glides effortlessly, looks way more expensive than it actually is. And I love traveling in style, and this suitcase is the perfect companion for that. Then there's this 100% organic cotton open knit cover up maxi dress. Total vacation vibe, must have. It's so easy to throw on over a swimsuit, but then it's chic enough for like a day of exploring or an afternoon of beachside relaxation. The halter top is super flattering, breezy. I'm already picturing myself cocktail in hand, soaking up the sun. And what I love most about Quince is that they offer premium items for a fraction of the price. And we're talking 50 to 80% less than similar brands by cutting out the middleman. So they pass those savings right to us, and then they partner with factories that are committed to ethical, responsible practices, which I love. From travel outfits to luggage and accessories, Quince has it all in one place. So no need to overspend when you can get everything you need, all with incredible quality. So for your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades that you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/vine for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/vine to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/vine. And two things before I let you go. This is funny because this one in everybody's mailbox is in Nashville, and I'm pretty sure like 3 of my exes live in Nashville. Petty little bitch. So look at this, Music City City Lifestyle, and they did a whole thing about my podcast rebrand and the space and everything. So let me just flip to the center because I think I'm really proud of this. It's actually really cool. Okay. So it says, let's chat with Kaitlyn Bristowe. Now, I kind of think it would be cool to read this to you guys because it really is about you. And I really did talk about you in here. So I'm going to go through it really quickly. So Kaitlyn Bristowe talks new podcast, rebrand, and life in Nashville. So pay attention because I really bring you guys up a lot, okay? So your podcast, Off the Vine, has made waves. What inspired you to create a podcast, and in what ways has it changed your life? I said when I was younger, I wanted my own radio show. So I started in the podcast industry 8 years ago. I've never looked back. I love candid conversations, especially these days when we can put our phones down, have genuine connection for 45 minutes. I think it makes listeners feel like they're hanging out with their best friends, and my Off the Vine community is everything to me. Tell us more about your rebrand plans for the podcast. What is your vision for the new setup? I'm sure you can see some of it and you've seen it on social media, but my answer was, I feel like my listeners have always really grown with me in every single way, like spiritually, personally, professionally, and who I am as a person. My conversation, my guests, they've all evolved, and I felt like the space needed to level up too, and I wanted people to walk into the space, feel invited, relaxed, and comfortable. And then a special thanks to Lee Taylor, who I obviously had on the podcast because her Lee Taylor Public Relations was the one who facilitated this project for the elevated space. If you could describe the new Off the Vine in 3 words, which would you choose and why? So I said elevated, authentic, and safe. In any chapter of my life, I hope to continue to grow, evolve, and elevate. Authenticity is all I crave in this world, and I want to inspire listeners to always feel empowered and live authentically. So safety is an important one for me too. I want my community to feel like they are family. I love for my conversations with guests to feel safe in a world full of clickbait, and I understand that that's part of the job. I want them to leave feeling like our conversation filled their cup, not like I got a headline out of them. And that way it feels like I've done my job correctly. What is it like building a successful career in social media? I said, it's been a journey. I'll never forget coming off The Bachelorette in 2015, getting offered money to post on Instagram. I went from living paycheck to paycheck to getting asked to promote a waistband trainer for a lot of money. I screamed when I saw the dollar amount. I immediately agreed, even though I was lying to my audience about how I used it every day. And my friend called me and said, I don't care how much they paid you, delete that post. And she kind of talked me through the power of building the longevity of a brand, how saying no to little one-off stupid things that don't align with you would bring on bigger, better opportunities. And obviously it was hard to say no at the time, but she was absolutely right. And I wanted you guys and my audience to fully trust me. And I still believe to this day, I only promote things that I believe in and use. I worked with really meaningful partnerships over the years, and I've now worked with some of my favorite brands. And I think it's the best business advice I could ever give to someone is align yourself with your purpose, develop a mission statement, and 3 pillars that you want to be known for, and stay true to it. I think that's really helpful. Okay, bitch. Look at it. I love that photo. It's so cool. I wonder if you can look at this online also. Music City, City Lifestyle. Last little question was, your wine, Spade and Sparrows, continues to make a name for itself nationwide. Congratulations. What does it mean to you to watch it continue to grow and thrive? I said, I'm so proud of that wine label. I worked in a restaurant industry for 10 years. I learned so much about wine pairing, grapes, regions. After coming off the show and building a wine-centric podcast, having my own label felt like a natural progression. It means everything to me to have my wine and wine club members. We have wine Zooms every 3 months where I have celebrity guests come on, answer questions, play games, make cocktails, hang. I know I'm biased, but it really is the best wine. I still truly believe my wine is the best wine. It is the only wine that I drink. It's low sugar. It's so tasty. It's so approachable. I love it so much. Whether you're a sommelier or a first timer, it's all low sugar, perfectly balanced, and pairs well with anything you want to pair it with. Tell us all about your journey to Music City. What led you to Nashville? I said, well, I want to tell you it was my love for music, which was part of it, but it was really because I got engaged to a guy on my season of The Bachelorette. He lived here. I'd never been. I moved here without looking back, and now I find myself in writing sessions, taking voice lessons, releasing music, very seldomly, but I do love it, and it's such a great city full of wonderful people. It really does now feel like home. And then she said, congratulations on your beautiful new home. How does it feel to continue building roots in Nashville? I said, I could not be happier about the new home. I had lived a lot of life in my last house, and this change came at the perfect time. 2 public breakups in one house is a lot. So it was a new chapter of my life with 2 dogs. Felt like the reset that I needed. New chapter, new energy, and I love it so much. Hosting is my favorite thing. Hosting my podcast, dinner parties, backyard happy hours. My doors are always open to friends and family when they visit. It is my sanctuary. So that is that. I thought that was cool. And I forgot to answer one more question about the vibrators. Someone did ask, they said maybe this is TMI, but they wanted to know my favorite vibrators, which I thought was perfect because Bellesa is actually a sponsor for this podcast. And they are, I think, one of the only brands that maybe this is TMI. Maybe this is something I've not really talked about on the podcast. I'm not like the biggest vibrator girly. I'm just not. Maybe it's the low libido from being on antidepressants. I don't know. But if I am going to use one, Bellesa, they have a silent one. They did some sort of technology where it's silent, so it's not like you just rev one up if you have people over and it's like a whisper bullet and a whisper rabbit and a whisper wand. So if you, even though you shouldn't have any shame in your vibrating game, if you want it to be silent, Bellesa. And then last but not least, I am so excited to tease that I am fully rewatching my season of The Bachelorette along with you guys. We will be releasing, I'm not going to say any special guests that are coming on, but let's just say a lot of the guys from my season will be coming on to kind of recap episodes, talk about where they are now. I'm going to make them watch the episode that we're going to recap. And it's just going to be a really fun 10-year reunion. Right now, what month are we in? April. I was, I think, in Ireland right now, probably screwing a lot of dudes in the fantasy suite. Kaitlyn. Why do I say these things? And I'm rewatching each episode, and it's been a really wild journey. I've laughed, gotten emotional. I've been proud of myself. I've been embarrassed, and it's really fun because you guys are going to get to watch back with me and then have special guests on as well to recap each episode. So for the 10-year anniversary, I thought that would be a really fun, crazy, wild thing to do. Can you believe it's been 10 years? And if you guys want to rewatch, even on your own, because then we will be recapping with some of the guys from the season. So if you want to do that, I'll give you my Amazon Prime password if you want it. Go on, I'll give you my password. So that will be super fun. And it's going to be so fun to connect with these men that some I keep in touch with, some I don't, but just to see, what their real true experience was. Everybody's out of contract. It'll be nice to know how they felt with production, their experience and how they truly felt about me. I've already recorded one with somebody and he was like, yeah, I knew you didn't like me. So I was just there for the commentary. And I was like, oh, I thought we liked each other, but okay. I think you'll be surprised by who might show up in the studio. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast on anywhere you get your podcast, on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed just so you don't miss an episode. So I can't wait to go on that journey with all of you guys where it all started. Maybe at the end, I have an idea. Maybe at the end, we'll do one big Nashville Zanies moment where I invite all of the guys back. And we do one final, they sit on chairs, kind of like the Men Tell All, and we just answer questions from people. Whoa, that'd be fun. Okay, keep that in the back of the old noggin. I think that's all I got for you guys. Coming up for me, I'm going to be going to LA for something exciting. And gosh, for the love of God, when will I be able to tell you about it? Hopefully soon, because I'll be there in LA for that this month. Going to Florida for Worth's 33rd birthday, which Worth loves a theme for a birthday. So I think we're doing like animal print one day for the beach. I think we're doing, it's like wet, wild, and free. I think we're doing Western night. I think we're doing a nautical night. He just loves the theme, which so do I. So that will be fun. And then you know what, guys? It's the countdown for the 40th birthday, June 19th, 40. I'm not as scared as I thought I would be. Little hyped on it because I think I said it before. I'm thinking 40 is going to be chic. So I'm excited. But thank you so much. That was a fun little solo episode. I chatted your ear off and I hope you enjoyed it.